one station that others look up to. A station where professionalism and class come to play. So in whatever we do, be it news, sports, politics, information and culture, even in entertainment, tourism, education, documentaries and kids programming, we set the standard for others.
Good afternoon and welcome to NTA Lagos Channel 10 News at 1. I am Iyabo Wale Eri. Do remember to join us on our social media platforms, NTA Lagos Channel 10 on Facebook and YouTube. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has charged world leaders to move beyond pledging to performance and from dialogue to taking reasonable action in tackling climate change and its attendant natural disasters that have claimed innocent lives and rendered many homeless across the globe. He stated this during the Leaders Climate Summit at the ongoing 30th Conference of the Parties in Belém, Brazil. State House correspondent Abdulrahman Jubrila reports.
Vice President Kashim Shettima, representing President Bola Tinubu at this annual climate conference, received by the Brazilian President Lula da Silva, reaffirmed Nigeria's global climate leadership with a commitment to achieving an emission reduction targets of 32% by 2035. The unveiling of the National Carbon Market Framework and Climate Change Fund forms the core of Nigeria's climate finance architecture, designed to attract billions of dollars in clean energy and adaptation investment.
Through these efforts, we are empowering small businesses, promoting clean energy, and transforming agricultural waste into opportunity. Nigeria's geography, from the Sahelian plains in the north to the mangroves of the Niger Delta, reflect nature's generosity and reminds us of our responsibility to preserve what sustains us. This is why we are investing in climate-smart agriculture, livestock transformation, and sustainable land use practices that reduce conflict over resources and enhance food security.
Brazil's President Lula da Silva said it will take a collective effort for the world to fight climate change, emphasizing that fighting climate change must be a priority for every government and individual on Earth.
At COP28 in Dubai, countries committed to transition away from fossil fuels. No more greenwashing, no loopholes. We must turn that committing into action while supporting low and middle income developing countries that are highly dependent on fossil fuels.
Nigeria's third national determined contribution, validated and submitted in September 2025, outlines the country's comprehensive strategy across energy, agriculture, transport, waste and industry, as the decade of gas strategy remains pivotal in powering the transition, balancing natural gas utilization with expanded solar and off-grid electrification to drive rural energy access and sustainable development. From Belém in Brazil, Abdulrahman Jubrila, NTA News.
Still on climate change, Lagos State is taking a bold step towards a sustainable future with new plans to enhance its ocean resources and strengthen resilience against climate threats. Joyken Abakoya reports from the 11th Lagos International Climate Change Summit, where Lagos leads the call for a greener, resilient future. Lagos, a city built on water, energy, and enterprise, is charting a new course to turn its blue waters into green wealth. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the state is determined to unlock sustainable financing and drive innovation that will protect its coastline and power economic growth. Speaking at the Climate Change Summit themed Blue Economy, Green Money, the governor said Lagos is leading Africa's drive for a cleaner climate and a vibrant blue economy that secures lives, livelihoods, and long-term prosperity.
We believe that together we can make a Lagos the beating heart of Africa, not just for today, but in a sustainable future. A city that did not drown under the weight of climate change, but it rose above it to lead the world.
Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, said the summit is about reimagining the ocean not as a resource to exploit, but as a living system to protect.
We must work together, sharing data, expertise, and resources to build a united African front for coastal resilience.
The Minister for Marine and Blue Economy, Gboyega Oyetola, who was represented, commended Lagos for leading the conversation on coastal resilience, noting that ongoing reforms are positioning Nigeria as a key player in Africa's blue economy.
It is therefore the responsibility of the marine and blue economy to institute a national coastal resilience and adaptation framework.
From policymakers to investors, participants agreed that the time has come to finance the tides of resilience and turn Lagos's aquatic wealth into sustainable prosperity. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abapoya, NTA News. Now to legislative matters. The Senate is taking a critical look at aviation safety in Nigeria following the recent Air Peace runway overrun at the Port Harcourt International Airport. The legislative intervention took off with an investigative hearing on the incident as part of efforts to prevent a repeat of such accidents and to strengthen public confidence in air travel. Ignatius Nkwo reports.
By the Senate Committee.
It was a full house at the National Assembly as the Senate Committee on Aviation held an investigative hearing on the Air Peace runway incident that occurred at the Port Harcourt International Airport on July 13, 2025.
Though the incident thankfully recorded no loss of life, it serves as a sober reminder that aviation safety demands constant vigilance.
The Senate now decide that we should take it up, find out, make a correction, guide the airline, and then where it is necessary, we amend the law to suit the yearning of Nigeria.
Permanent Secretary, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Ibrahim Abubakar Kana, presented the ministry's position and announced that it has embarked on the review of implementation of safety regulations to ensure safer skies in Nigeria.
This occurrence is still under investigation. Air Peace incident under consideration, the two safety recommendations addressed to the management of Air Peace Airlines were issued. In this case, assessment of implementation of these safety recommendations will be carried out by the State Safety Program Team of the NCAA.
The committee invited the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Civil Aviation Authority, Federal Airport Authority, Management of Air Peace to make submissions on the incident.
Results indicated Captain and First Officer positive for ethyl glucuronide, ETG, a biomarker of recent alcohol ingestion.
The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority remains fully committed to upholding the highest standards of aviation safety.
The aircraft flew back to Lagos. The aircraft had no damage on it. What happened was human error.
It affects Air Peace, it affects British Airways, it affects all the airlines.
The parliamentary committee states that the hearing was not just about one airline or one incident. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
And now to security matters. President Bola Tinubu has again reassured that his administration is taking necessary steps to ensure that Nigeria defeats terrorism and other forms of insecurity. President Tinubu gave the assurance during the meeting of the Federal Executive Council. State House correspondent Musbah Dan Wahab reports.
The Federal Executive Council meeting came to order to fill the hitherto ministerial vacancies created in the Council. Following their nomination and screening by the National Assembly, 2 new ministers designate were primed for inauguration. Bernard Doro from Plateau State replaces former Humanitarian Affairs Minister Nentawe Yiwada, who is now the APC National Chairman. And Kingsley Ude, a former commissioner from Enugu State, is taking the slot of Enugu to replace the former Minister of Science and Technology, Uche Naji, who resigned recently.
Of my duties as minister, so help me God.
Then, in an unusual circumstance, came the usual assertive voice.
The most important thing
President Bola Tinubu would for the first time react to the current situation occasioned by the threats of military incursion by the U.S.
Despite the political headwind and the fear of our people, we continue to engage with our partners. The success of the 2.3 billion bond, our subscription, oversubscribed, is the most at this stage. So the task ahead is immense. We are engaging the world diplomatically, and we assure all of you that we will, defeat terrorism in this country. The task ahead is immense, but it's our resolve to move forward with unity and purpose, guided by renewed hope agenda to build a prosperous, inclusive, and resilient Nigeria.
The President also yielded the floor to the Coordinating Minister of Finance and Economy, Wale Edun. The Coordinating Minister gave updates of economic progress, including the growth of GDP by 4.2% in the second quarter of 2025, growth of 13 major sectors by 7%, growth of industrial sector from 3.72% to 7.45%, foreign exchange reserves topped $43 billion, while trade surplus hit 7.4 trillion naira.
Yesterday's hugely successful 2.35 billion euro bond issuance, in which the order book peaked at over $13 billion, is a testament to continued investor confidence in our country and our reform agenda and Mr. President's leadership.
He assures of sectoral commitments to the $1 trillion economy envisioned by the government as they prepare for the next phase of the reforms.
The next phase of reforms will remove barriers holding back investors. We will review tariffs and import restrictions to stimulate productivity and investment.
The minister believes every naira must be optimized to sustain momentum amid global liquidity constraints, while the government continues to harness local resources to strengthen the economy. From the State House, Musbah Dan Wahab, NTA News.
You are still on to NTA Lagos Channel 10 News at 1. The news continues shortly. Stay with us.
Claus is coming to town.
It's Christmas season, a time to spread love, jolly, and be merry. Where would you love to be?
Worry no more. It's happening here at the NTA Lagos Channel 10 Christmas Family Fun Fair.
The 2025 Christmas celebration promises to be fun-filled with lots of activities for your maximum excitement.
There will be games,
chess competition,
Ludo,
shout out to your loved ones,
school presentations,
bounce on the castle,
and so much more.
Date is Monday 9th to 12th December 2025, with Monday night being the opening ceremony.
There will be so much more to eat and drink. Gate fee, 3,000 naira per child.
Venue, NTA Lagos Channel 10 Joshua Yaba Lagos. Time 10 a.m.
For sponsorship and advert placement, please call Chibuzo 0812 324 5519
or Fadike on 0803 913 8161 and Jimo on 0803 830 1669. NTA Lagos Channel 10 Christmas Family Fun Fair. Don't miss out. Save the date.
Mark your calendars.
Let's jingle and rock this Christmas.
Welcome back. The federal government has inaugurated a new ministerial project approval board aimed at fast-tracking economic development through stronger collaboration with the private sector. The inauguration, which took place at the Federal Ministry of Finance headquarters in Abuja, marks a major milestone in government's efforts to boost investment, innovation, and job creation across key sectors of the economy. Presiding over the ceremony, the Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, also chaired the board's first review session. The session considered a proposal from the Equipment Leasing Registration Authority for a public-private partnership to digitize Nigeria's leasing industry. According to the minister, the new initiative will modernize regulatory system, improve transparency, and widen access to equipment financing for small and medium-scale enterprises. Mr. Edun commended the clarity and strategic vision of the project, reaffirming that the board would maintain high standards of accountability, due process, and value for money in evaluating all partnership proposals. He emphasized that the current administration remains committed to leveraging private capital and innovation to deliver tangible economic benefits. He added that such partnerships are critical to stimulating investment, driving productivity, and creating employment opportunities for Nigerians. Earlier in the event, the Registrar and Chief Executive Officers of ELA, Mr. Donald Wokoma, presented details of the transformation plan. The initiative includes the deployment of digital platforms, industry development programs, and capacity building efforts to deepen participation in Nigeria's leasing sector. Private sector partnership at the event also pledged support for deploying technology-driven solutions that will expand business access to leasing and strengthen the nation's financial ecosystem. The inauguration of the Ministerial Project Approval Board and the advancement of ELRA digital transformation plan represent vital steps towards achieving Nigeria's broader economic reform agenda. The federal government reiterated its commitment to fostering partnerships that deliver sustainable growth and prosperity for all Nigerians. Come to the end of the news at 1. Do remember to join us at 7 for a more comprehensive package. I am Iyabo Wale Eri. Good afternoon.